got it!
That was great. Hello, hi everybody.
Hi.
We're live on Facebook.
That was this exciting entrance you just came into.
Throwing phones down and
I was
things
throwing
like that.
things, people were catching them. It's great.
Right. We're here in Mexico City.
Mexico City.
Which is
my
amazing.
first time. I'm falling in love with this place.
Yeah.
It's like a Latin Paris.
Exactly.
And
Food's great.
we're here to answer some of your questions.
Great. I have the first one.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I have the first one from Fernanda from Colombia. Fernanda from Colombia asks, Alycia has gone through a lot in the first 2 seasons.
Sure has.
Is she going to put into practice all that she has learned into season 3?
Oh, yeah. I think what's so great about this is that she's gone from season 1 being a teenage girl to being pretty typical, you know, having a boyfriend, wanting to have a plan for her life, and
Being
then
catfished every so often.
yeah, you know how it is. And then and then now we're seeing her really. Season 2 was a bit of a breakdown. She really was thrown into the midst of the apocalypse, really not knowing what to do. And this season, we finally see her just coming into her own and really growing into the woman that she is, separating kind of from Madison, really taking charge and taking some leadership. It's some great episodes with her. Yeah.
You have a question for me?
Shall I ask you your question?
Sure, why not? I'll take a question.
Lucero, I'm so sorry. Great name. From Mexico. Yay!
Hey!
How do you prepare yourself to play your characters?
How do I prepare myself to play my characters? With Victor Strand in particular, I think that you first always go to the text. It's about what's written for you first, more than anything. And you know, since we're now sort of embodying our characters in such a great way, it's now a great collaboration between the writing team, directors, and the actors. So I prepare myself like some things you can't prepare yourself for. So it's like just like with an apocalypse. Like who prepares for that really?
Exactly.
So it's like you go moment to moment, but basically you take the you really just try to I focus on my scene partners. Like I focus on Alycia or Kim or you know all the wonderful actors that we have, and you really just we work really hard together. We run our lines together. We ask questions. We help support each other, and then hopefully the work just keeps translating.
Yeah.
You just leave yourself open and available.
I think that's a great answer.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I have one from Nicholas from Chile. What's the biggest challenge of the roles you have to play?
I think personally, it's the content can be quite intense. You know, we're in the apocalypse, and it means that a lot of the scenes we're playing are emotional or quite draining, and it's hard then to make sure that you're either making sure it's different and finding all these different layers. You're not playing the same note, which I find is hard, but also I've grown so much from it. But then also we always make sure we have a laugh in the middle of takes and things like that, which makes it easier. And then I guess, you know, obviously stunt work is kind of hard. Yeah. And that's challenging always, but really, really fun. Yeah. So. And also, you know what?
She's killer with her stunts.
You know what the one challenge is?
What?
Oh, this is not to do with my character, but in the ranch we have no cell service, which is our location. That's the worst.
That's the hardest thing to deal with.
Where we film, there is no cell service at all. So it's just like 12 hours of a day, and you're like, well, I guess I hope the world's still going on. If everyone's
but
fine.
It keeps you in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Guess, right? Mm-hmm.
Liz from Mexico. What have you learned professionally since you have started shooting Fear and your characters?
I've learned that shows about zombies and apocalypse are not about zombies and apocalypse. It's about humanity. It's about holding up a mirror to who we are, about the choices and the challenges that we have and that we would make to live our lives. You know, and so I feel like it could echo anything that we're dealing with right now, politically, racially, gender equality, sexual, revolution, things like that, you name it. But it can really it's really just a great tool. So that's what I learned. I learned from my character. I think I've become more like Victor Strand in my own life in a great way.
Dressing in silk suits.
I dress in silk suits all the well, just for bed. But I really have learned I love his ease and his being quiet and his power and being strong. So I find he starts to show up in my own life. Yeah.
I like that question.
Yes, Marco from Ecuador. Do you think Alycia will finally overcome the problem she has with her brother and mother?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Good one.
Good one, Marco.
You know what? I think there's always going to be a little bit of a struggle there. I think this season we do see them, kind of come back together and at some point, and with Alycia now finally coming into her own and being her own leader, there is definitely some stronger differences that are emerging between Madison and Alycia. So if anything, I think they might become a little bit more separate for a bit. Alicia's always maintained quite a moral compass and knowing what is right in the apocalypse, and that starts to differ from her mother's view, and that's exciting though, because we get to really see her just by herself.
Going off on her own.
Yeah, going off on her own.
That's great.
Talia from Mexico.
I like the name Talia.
Great name. How do you feel about shooting in Mexico?
Okay, I have become the unofficial ambassador of Mexico.
Coleman's ready to move to Mexico.
I'm ready to move to Mexico, whether it's Mexico City or Guadalajara or Puerto Vallarta or La de Guadalupe.
Yes.
But we've experienced so much. We have a great, amazing crews. We the things that I think has been very fascinating to me. It's like living here has blown away any sort of thoughts that I had about Mexico. You always hear overblown things about safety, about food. And I think that I've eaten everything but tacos here. I feel like it's a world. It's about the world. I mean, it really is like the people are amazing. The food reflects it. The landscape. Everywhere that we get to shoot is incredible too.
Beautiful.
I mean, we've shot in Vita Guadalupe, which is now written up in Condé Nast Magazine, GQ, Elle, as number one destination.
The wineries there are incredible.
Yeah, and here we are in Mexico City. You can't get anything better than this. It's incredible.
It's so beautiful.
We all love living and working here, and we hope to do so for many, many years. Yeah.
So, is this for me?
I have a Venina from Argentina. Do you feel Latin American fans support? Do you feel the support from the Latin American fans? And how is your relationship with them?
Oh, we get so much love from Latin America.
Yes, exactly.
We adore Latin American fans because you guys are passionate.
Yes.
We can't wait to finally do a little bit more traveling around.
Yeah, we need to go to Brazil.
We want to go to Brazil.
We want to go to Argentina.
We you guys are just so loud and it's so fantastic, and I'm trying to get my social media game back on track, so hopefully that will.
I'm teaching her a few things.
You know, yeah, you are today. You're like, that's not how you do a boomerang.
But then we kind of killed the boomerang. I think you all saw it already.
Some hair flips.
A hair flip is really good for a boomerang.
It is.
Yeah, try it today, everyone.
That's probably all you'll see from me now
just
on. It'll just be like constant
one hair flip a week. What do you have?
Okay, I have Polly from Uruguay. If you could change one thing about your characters, if you could change one thing your characters have done, what would it be and why?
Probably, you know what the funny
No regrets.
Yeah, I think that Victor Strand has lived with no regrets, but I think he possibly would have taken a beat, maybe just a beat, before he cut the raft of that infected kid. He was doing it. I mean, that was the one where I started to get like, hate tweets. It was like, hey, that's not the.
That was
like
Colman.
That's the character.
Yeah, that was like me with the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
People were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
it's like she's just looking for love.
But also, you look at these characters; they didn't know. No. They didn't know what they were. I mean, that's.
They should make those mistakes because then it gives them somewhere to go.
Now, exactly.
You want them to make bad choices, so when they do make great choices, you're excited about it.
You're like, wow, they've grown, they've learned. Alycia is not going to get catfished ever again.
No,
and Victor Strand may think twice before just abruptly cutting off the raft, right?
It was abrupt.
It was abrupt. Maybe he would have just took a little more time, maybe a couple more minutes.
Maybe a few more minutes.
That's all. Okay, cool. Okay, Gina from Peru. Do you feel more powerful this season?
Absolutely.
Yes.
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 Alycia is kick-ass in this season, but not just in an action standpoint, not just from like a stunt standpoint. Like she becomes a woman, really. Yeah. Like she's standing up for herself. She has a voice, and it's powerful. Mm-hmm.
I've heard every so often there would be some complaints that people would say, "Oh, our show moves slow. It's about character and story, and they want us to be where our mothership is." Yeah. And first of all, it's a different show.
Different show.
But I think what's interesting about this show is that it just by its own nature has become more powerful. This season, I think, is going to be our best season yet.
Because I do too.
Suddenly, we've made some mistakes. We've had some things happen to us. We've lost a lot, and now it's game on. Mm-hmm. And it's like from episode 1, and each one is so you're like, whoa, we're going to do all that.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot all that in 8 days.
Yes.
Some in 7.
Which is really hard.
Exactly.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting, but it's like it's a powerful
but rewarding.
Season.
Yeah. Okay, Colman. Catalina from Argentina.
Uh-huh.
Do you often make jokes during takes? Who is the funniest on the cast? I'm going to answer this. It's Colman. mean, look at him.
Look at me,
He's
I'm
like
wearing
a
a Michael
shining
Jackson military
bright
jacket.
light.
Aw.
He's Michael Jackson repping today. No, I think it's between you and Kim.
Me and Kim. You know, and people...
Kim is an unsurprising joker.
Exactly. No one would think that she's got the best sense of humor.
She does.
But we all do. Everybody has their own thing. We all can get, and when something funny happens on set, we actually send text to each other like, "Oh my God, this thing happened!" And we videotape it to try to have the moment again.
I know.
Like we send you
I know.
crazy things. We're like, Alycia will love this.
I was
moment.
like, "What is going on?" In these text messages, they'll send me videos, weird videos.
Yeah.
No, but you guys are. What do you think? What do you think?
I think. I admit I'm probably the prankster. I know I am.
Yeah, you are.
Because I'm kind of silly.
Daniel Sharman, who is a new addition to our season, he's made a couple of pranks.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I don't think you were there for that episode, but Kim made sort of an in-joke on set one day, and everyone was teasing her about it. And he made shirts. He got shirts made.
Oh my God! Yeah.
About like 20 T-shirts and handed them out to the crew. So when she turned up on set, all the crew members were wearing the exact same in-joke, and she was just looking around going, wait, what's going on? That was quite good.
I have one for you. Liz from Paraguay. What's the most fun thing you've done on set, Alycia?
Oh my gosh.
The most fun.
The most fun?
Fun. I mean, is
Fun,
there a
yeah,
stunt?
look at us,
It's a
we're
little
just
hot. It's getting hot in here. Wait, so is it what is it? Something fun that happened? Can you think of? I mean, is it fun? I mean, the stunt stuff.
Stunt stuff is really fun. I just enjoy hanging out with everyone, though. That's like
right.
we are all such good friends. So
so
for
true.
me, it's just like we have so many laughs on set that I can't actually really pick a time, a moment when it was the most fun. It's just so.
Yeah, I think I like that. I have fun.
What's you?
A lot of times, a lot of the fun happens in the makeup and hair trailer. Like in terms of
that's
just conversation, laughs, especially early in the morning.
I tried to
With
see what I
Tracy,
would look like with a fringe in the makeup trailer the other day.
I'll put on wigs
It
just
didn't work.
because I'm being silly.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
yeah, it just,
You have
I had
done.
wig day. I had wig day.
You have had wig day.
I wore Kim's wig and I wore Frank stunt double wig. Well, that wasn't Kim's actual wig. It was her stunt.
That was great.
Anyway,
Those photos are out there somewhere.
They're out there somewhere. Martin from Panama.
Oh wait, I think it's my
Oh,
turn
that's
to
yours.
you.
Good. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
Martin, I'll get back to your question. Martin.
Santiago from Colombia. Have you ever thought about a real apocalypse? Where would you like to be if that ever happens?
I've never. I'm not one of those people who thinks about a real apocalypse. I think a real apocalypse is like the internet going down for like all day and everybody losing their mind. So I think where I would like to be is like somewhere safe with a bottle of scotch and some fried chicken.
Not too far from what Victor Strand would say.
Basically.
Mine would definitely be Australia because I'm pretty sure if you watch any disaster film, it always happens in the Northern Hemisphere. Everyone in Australia or in
Why is that?
I don't know. Well, Hollywood.
Hollywood.
They're like, oh no,
Well, we like
the
to destroy
meteor, it's
ourselves,
falling
exactly.
right to New York City.
exactly.
I'm like, well, lucky for me.
Yeah, why doesn't it
I
fall in New
won't be
Zealand?
there.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So New Zealand and Australia are going to be fine. That's
Martin
where
from
I'll be.
Panama, if you had to survive the zombie apocalypse and have one person by your side, who would it be?
Oh, I never know.
I
Probably
know. She's so embarrassed to say me. I know.
Coleman. If you and I were together in a zombie apocalypse,
I think we did pretty well.
Oh, really? I was about to say, I do not know how well we would do. I was like,
Well, we would have some laughs. We would do some hair flips.
yeah.
There'd be some.
We wouldn't be delusional on how long we would last. We'd be like,
No.
you know what?
It's gonna
Live your
happen.
life.
Live your life. Get your life. Pablo. Oh, that's yours. It's your turn. I'm just asking all the questions.
I know. Wow. Slow down.
I know. I'm so excited.
Okay, if you had to give your character any advice, what would it be?
Wow. If I gave Victor Strand any advice, I would think it would be to, I don't know, to not be so hardcore at times in terms of like with making decisions.
Yeah, he's pretty ruthless.
Yeah, he's pretty ruthless, but I think that that's been part of his survival. But I would tell him to take a breath and maybe really hear someone else's point of view. And someone who's been, I think because he respects a point of view when he sees that it's informed and not emotional.
Right.
I don't think he responds with emotion. He's someone, and I think I'm very much the same way. I'm like, when it's a lot of noise of emotion coming at me, I'm like, well, slow down and let's assess and see what's actually going on.
Yes.
So we can actually do something, if we can really achieve an answer. So yeah, I would tell him to take a breath. How about you?
I think maybe try, you know what I would like for Alycia?
What?
Kind of wanted to keep some of her sassiness that she did have, like knowing how to use her femininity sometimes Because this season has definitely shown her like hardening.
Yeah.
And I know she's fluxes.
But you don't want to leave that behind.
But I don't
right?
want to leave that behind because I think that's important, and I would like that for her.
It's a show of power too.
It
in
is.
some way.
It
Understanding everything has
knowing what you have, who you are,
what you're working with.
Okay, my turn for you. How many words can you say in Spanish? From Eric from Argentina.
Eric, I can say if I really think about it, I can say a lot of words. But
not
I
so
can
many
together.
Not
today, but not together. Separate words,
many words separately.
Tequila.
Un, dos, tres.
Una más, por favor.
Muy bien.
Gracias.
You know what? I can say a really great first couple of introductory sentences, so people are like, "Wow, well done," and then I'm done.
Exactly.
That's it. They'll ask me something
But I think
else.
now we understand more than we actually say.
That's true. I understand a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think with our the women who do our hair in our hair trailer, two of them don't speak. One in particular. No, two don't speak English.
Any English.
But we all communicate so very
Yes.
well, which is interesting about language and language barriers.
Yeah.
I'm like, you'll figure out how. We joke and laugh and enjoy each other so much. You would never think that we didn't.
It's amazing how
understand
much
each
you
other.
can communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have something for you. From all the cast. Oh, this is from Paz from Mexico. From all the cast, who do you think has the better survival skills?
Obvious answer, Cliff.
Huh. Yeah.
Because he's been talking about it. He said he's got prepper survivors in New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah. How weird is that? I had no idea.
Why are they prepping for it?
Oh, the
And that's what we
apocalypse.
don't know.
They're like ready.
They're like, we're getting it in.
But I will say, I have learnt a lot more, and I was thinking about it on the plane, truly, what you would need. And, I mean, I think I could do it.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, what's your answer?
I think who's got the best survival skills, for some reason I feel like Kim Dickens.
Oh, yeah, she could do it.
Only because
you know what? You're absolutely
think about
right.
it. Listen, I'm not to put in Kim, I've been to her house, and she's very well prepared. Like, you
Very
go into
organized.
her fridge, very organized.
Oh, yeah.
She's got like a box of
It's like a dream fridge.
Let's say if you have like a bar of Dove, she's well stocked. She buys in bulk.
Yeah.
So she's.
It's like a mini supermarket.
It really is, and it's amazing and well furnished.
Very. And you know who else is like that?
Who?
Mercedes.
Ah, yeah.
You know, she's really ready for
She's prepped.
She's
yeah.
prepped.
Mm-hmm.
I am not
Are you
prepped
not prepped?
now. I just realized I'm
realized you're not
ultimate disorganization. That's disorganizational.
Disorganized.
Disorganized.
Or maybe a nation. You wanted to add nation to it. Why not?
Why not?
Now, I have one more. Pablo from Bolivia. Which would be in your personal survival kit in an apocalypse?
Great. All right. I was thinking about this on the plane. Number 1, seeds.
Seeds?
Seeds.
Huh.
Because if you have seeds and you finally find a sanctuary, you can sow fruit and vegetables and everything, right?
Yeah.
And then medical kit, socks and gloves because I get cold. What else was I thinking? A weapon of something. Water. Yeah.
But I think you would need think about a water purifying system.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a first thing.
That's a good one.
You need that.
Flashlight.
Flashlight.
I had a really great one that I was thinking about. I've forgotten it now.
Toilet paper.
Oh, a pen and a diary. Because I think if you should record everything.
Oh, probably for the next generation as well. That's great. What else would you have? I would have. You're right, like socks. I don't know why I'm just imagining I need socks.
You do need socks.
Like those hardcore, thick socks. Yeah, exactly.
Because what if you lose your boots?
Okay, we have two more. We're going to go
two more.
Do you have any more?
Mine are ones that I just read out.
Oh, yeah, okay. So,
I have two ones that I read one on Twitter.
Go for it.
If you had 5 minutes of cell service.
Oh, yeah.
In the apocalypse. So say there's no cell service, and then you have 5 minutes. What would you do with that?
Okay, but that all depends on whether or not...
There is no cell service. There's no internet. Every internet's broken down.
But if you have 5 minutes of cell service...
Yeah, what would you do with that? And the internet?
I feel like nothing. I wouldn't do it. What am I going to look up?
I mean, that sounds contradictory.
But see, if it's the internet, because, 5 minutes of cell service...
I think you could probably get onto the records, though, and see, would you maybe try and... find a military base and see if they answer.
That's true.
Or would you call NASA?
NASA. That's good.
Right?
Call NASA.
I try call NASA.
I feel like they'll put me on hold or something.
They're
And I'd
definitely
be really pissed off. I feel like any government agency, I'd be pissed off. All of a sudden, you
Is there a way to call space?
I don't know.
Radios, somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, if there's
Or like to check records, like what was the last thing that was posted on the internet? If it was, the world is over. The world has ended. The world is over. It's not real English. The world has ended. Then you would know.
You would know that. I have one more thing too, and this is just sort of a comment that I think is just a fun comment. Every so often, anyone who follows my page knows that there's a woman named Emily Ackerman, who is sort of like been our unofficial pundit on the zombie apocalypse. Emily, our friend Emily.
What's a pundit?
No, someone who talks about it. No.
Oh,
Emily,
right,
Scarlett,
yeah.
Scarlett.
I was like, who?
Well,
What?
Scarlett. She looks like Scarlett Johansson, but she basically said that she realized who she would be in an apocalypse when there was a fire in her building a couple months ago. She said she's like, oh my God, what do I do? She looked out of her window and saw her superintendent holding her neighbor's baby, and she was like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. And she looked around and she's got a dog and a cat, and she was like, oh my God. She was like, she got her dog, and she was like, Sally, come on. And she was like, the cat. She said, Ben, or whatever the cat's name, Ben, and it was like a pause, barely a pause, like, okay, we gotta go. So she realized, she said she would leave her cat. She's like, I don't got time to look for that cat. So she started changing. So now change her relationship with the cat, like I'd leave you, right?
That's so too real. She's got a different relationship now.
Exactly, yeah. So that's all we got for you with
amazing.
Our Facebook Live, people.
So there's a question for you. Not what would you take, what would you leave behind?
Aha! Yeah. What would you leave behind? So follow, I'm sure you follow both of us and things like that, and leave it on the page. But we look forward to more of your questions. But also remember, tune in on June the 4th. June 5th in some markets in Europe and stuff like that. Or every Sunday night.
Every Sunday night. We're going to be there.
But we're coming hard this year, you guys. We're coming hard and strong.
It's a really exciting season. You don't want to miss it. Bye.
Bye.